Tipper Gore, Goodfellas, and Pirates are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is September 19th, 2022. It is the 262nd day of the year. There are 103 days left. It is the 38th Monday in the 38th week and the 91st day of summer. 3 days until fall. What's that make it? Thursday? If today's your birthday, you are a Virgo. Today is Talk Like a Pirate Day. Talk Like a Pirate Day sails away annually on September 19th. All you bilge rats, I believe it, bilge rats? Was that it? Bilge rats? I remember his old pirate thing. I'm not up on all my pirate stuff. Arg! I do know that one. I always used to tell my wife, arg, you fiery winch. She didn't think it was funny. But on this day, don't be surprised if someone comes up to you and starts talking like a pirate. Ahoy, matey, avast, aye, captain, aye. Land ho, hornpipe. What is a hornpipe? Hornpipe is our word of the day, I guess. A hornpipe is a lively dance associated with sailors, typically performed by one person. I guess that's from those old movies where you see one guy dancing amongst a bunch of old sailors. The hornpipe is any of several dance forms played and danced in Britain and Ireland and elsewhere from the 16th century until present day. There you go, hornpipe. But yes, today is Talk Like a Pirate Day. All right, let's see what else September 19th has given us. 1796, George Washington's farewell address is printed across America as an open letter to the public. 1863, the American Civil War. The first day of the Battle of Chickamauga in northwestern Georgia goes down. This was the bloodiest two-day battle of the conflict and the only significant Confederate victory in the war's western theater. 1893, in New Zealand, the Electoral Act of 1893 is consented to by the governor, giving all women in New Zealand the right to vote. 1978, the Solomon Islands joined the United Nations. 1982, Scott Folham posts the first documented emoticons, which are a little happy face and all that you do with semicolons and all that type stuff, on the Carnegie Mellon University billboard system. Now, in the early days of the internet, before they had Facebook and America Online, they had these things called billboards, which reminds me of Reddit today. Reddit is just like a billboard from back in the day, and that's where they were first used. These days, emoticons and all the different little things we put into sentences when we're writing it on the internet have become quite the industry and a language of its own. Instead of writing out, I think that was hysterical, we can put a little emoji up there. Think a movie was bad? You don't have to say this was a horrible movie. You just put a poop emoji on there. You gotta watch those emojis, because sometimes you think something, you're saying I'm crying for you, or that's really sad and it's got tears, the little smiley face with the tears. But there's also one where he's laughing hysterically. So, my dog died. You don't want to put the wrong one there. And there you have it. You're laughing because this person's dog died. I've seen videos on emoji and emoticon etiquette. It's like part of the American language now. I wouldn't say as significant as sign language, but it's like one of those parts. It's not verbal, but it's different. Emojis do go by other names: pictograms, logograms, ideograms, and smileys. That sounds like what they call it in Australia. Hey mate, you put a smiley on there when I told you my dog had died. Wingdings, a font invented by Charles Bigelow and Chris Holmes, was released by Microsoft in 1990. Remember Wingdings? Before Windows and cell phones and all that, DOS had their own smileys, and there was 437 of them. In 2015, the Oxford Dictionary made the face with tears of joy emoji as the word of the year. The dictionary noted in 2015 that it had seen a sizable increase in the use of the word emoji and recognized its impact on pop culture. If you're not extremely computer savvy, you may not know it, but you have access to emojis on your keyboard right now. If at least a PC, it might be the same for an Apple, but if you hold down the Windows key and hit period while you're writing something, an emoji list will pop up for you. I use them on the description of this video right now. If you look below, you'll see like a little house, things like that. 1985, Tipper Gore and other political wives formed the Parent Music Resource Center as Frank Zappa, John Denver, and other musicians testify at the U.S. congressional hearings on obscenity and rock and roll. Every generation has this. Elvis, they wanted to take off the air and ruin his career because he swiveled his hips. The Beatles with that short haircut of theirs, they look like hoodlums in the beginning. Human beings never really change. 1995, the Washington Post and the New York Times published the Unabomber Manifesto. 2010, the leaking oil well in the Deepwater Horizon spill is finally sealed. They made a movie about that. It was pretty good. Movies released on September 19th, 1990, Goodfellas. Martin Scorsese directed film based on the true history of Henry Hill Jr.'s life as a member of the New York Mafia. The film is from the 1986 book Wise Guy by Nicholas Pileggi. This film was great and it received 6 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture. Its only win came in the category of Best Supporting Actor for Joe Pesci. Great movie though. I have a friend named Tom who was at some bar or something and sat down and talked to Henry Hill for a couple hours one night. This was not long after the movie came out, and he said the guy was an open book about it. He also said he likes to move around quite a lot, just in case. I think Henry Hill died a few years back. Born on September 19th, 1974, Jimmy Fallon, comedian and actor who became known for his impressions of Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, and Adam Sandler on Saturday Night Live. He hosted NBC's Late Night with Jimmy Fallon from 2009 to 2014. Then he took over for Jay Leno as host of The Tonight Show. He's pretty strange. He shows up in movies occasionally for little bit parts. He's had a couple movies like Fever Pitch where he was the main player in it, but most of the time he just shows up in these little bit parts and only takes up like 30 seconds of screen time. Almost Famous, he was only on there for a minute or two. Taxi, yeah, I guess he was a big part of that. Factory Girl, The Band of Brothers, he was on there for like a minute maybe. And Whip It. Jimmy Fallon was born on this day in 1974 in Bay Bridge, New York, New York. Died on September 19th, 2015, we lost Jackie Collins, British author who is known for her steamy romance novels, many of which have appeared in the New York Times bestsellers list. Many of her novels were adapted into films, and she wrote the screenplays for a handful of those. At age 15, after being expelled from school, she embarked upon an acting career in British B-movies. She published her first novel, The World is Full of Married Men, in 1968. The book, considered scandalous by some, was banned in both South Africa and Australia. Her older sister Joan Collins became a successful actress and starred in such films as The Girl in the Red Velvet Swing and Rally Round the Flag Boys. Jackie Collins died on September 19, 2015 of breast cancer 2 weeks before her 78th birthday. She had been diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer more than 6 years before her death, but kept the illness almost entirely to herself. She didn't even inform her sister Joan Collins until 2 weeks before she died. Alright, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, and be nice to each other.